Hello, this is Joel A. Erickson, Colts insider for the Indy Star. I'm here from the second day of Colts training camp from a practice standpoint. We've got clear skies now, or sort of clear skies now, but practice was moved inside because when we got here, there was lightning coming down. It seemed like the Colts were able to get done exactly what they wanted to do. They got an hour and 15 in. Anthony Richardson took the first team snaps for the first time in training camp. That's the most important thing to come out of the day. Shane Steichen told us this would happen. He said the other day that they're going to move the snaps around and it's going to be divvied up differently each day. But Richardson was the first team guy from the start. He had an okay day. Some short completions. He still, especially against the first teamers in 7-on-7, he's probably holding the ball a little bit longer than would be possible in a game with a pass rush coming after him. Had at least one missed throw on an incompletion, but they've given him first team reps. They've got him in there, and that's going to be key going forward. Because Chris Ballard said the other day, the key is to make sure he can handle a game plan. Can he do that stuff? That I think, can he be a little bit, or can he be successful? They don't want him to be all failing right away. So giving him first team reps now gives him a chance to really compete for that job with Gardner Minshew, and maybe get on the field right away as a starting quarterback. For the Indy Star, I'm Joel A. Erickson.
We got nothing today? Well, yeah, we went an hour yesterday, or the first day, and then hour 15. We'll ramp it up tomorrow to hour 30. It's just a ramp-up period, just taking care of these guys, getting them back into football shape. You know, they worked out in the summer, but now we're getting back into, training camp. But really pleased with the tempo, really pleased with the energy of practice today, and we got to keep going.
Did some of the injuries around the league kind of vindicate that thought process for you a little bit?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, some of those things, injuries are going to happen, right? It's football, right? It's going to happen. But if you can try to prevent as much of those, because obviously the best ability is availability. So you want your best players out there on Sunday, so trying to prevent those injuries is what we're trying to get done.
What is Erickson dealing with?
He's got a little hamstring. Yeah.
Say that he was talking to Zaire and he was like, man, that was kind of fun today. How are you instilling that fun back into the training camp?
I think just like the connection, just having fun competitions, team meeting room, doing things we do in there, and just always just creating that growth and just the energy. I just want guys that have energy, and I don't mind them talking trash out there. I want that at practice. I think that brings excitement. I think it brings a lot of tempo, a lot of energy.
The deep ball that Anthony had to Alec, how important is it for the wide receiver to understand, hey, I can get that ball downfield, Anthony can get that ball downfield?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, when you got a guy like Anthony that can get out of the pocket and make those plays, big plays come off scramble plays, and that's something we talk about in the meeting rooms. We work it in practice and walkthroughs, and then when it comes up like it came up today to create that big explosive play to Alec was good to see.
What do you think Anthony did with the first team today?
I thought he did a really nice job. The thing that we were looking for, obviously he was stacking the days in spring, and then you get that time off in the summertime. We didn't want him to take a step back, and I don't think he has done that at all. I think he's continued to improve and grow, and, we got to keep doing that.
Shane, we'll see what happens with the JT thing. What have the other running backs shown you?
I'm really pleased with Zach and those guys, and Evan and Dion. And Xavier. All those guys are coming together. They're all doing a really nice job.
You just have to treat it sort of like an injury. He's not here, so you move on.
Yeah. We plan on him being here. Like I said, he's on PUP, and as soon as he's healthy, he'll be back with the football team. We're getting those other guys reps right now.
Undrafted free agent Xavier Scott.
Yeah.
He's listed as a receiver and running back by the team. He's only been participating with the running backs so far in camp. Is that something you anticipate continuing?
Yeah, right now we do. He's played a lot of different things. He can play the F tight end, the receiver, the running back, and all that stuff. So right now he's playing running back for us.
Chuck Leonard being back so early and doing all the things that he's doing, how important has it been for him to be doing what he's doing right now?
I'm so excited for him to be back, just the energy he brings. You can feel it at practice, a veteran leader like that who's a high-profile player, and just having him back on the field, I'm so happy for him, what he's went through. I remember walking through in the spring. He was in there at 5 a.m. grinding, getting his body right every single day. And for him to do what he's doing right now back on this field is really awesome to see.
What do you think Anthony's learned as far as the timing of it? Like, there are a few throws probably.
Yeah, I think with anything, those full speed reps, just like the little summits in the pocket, like one today, we had a pressure off the edge and he sped up his forward, we had it picked up, and it was, and he just barely missed the throw, but it's like little things like that, like, hey, we're picked up, boom, we're good on that, we'll just be a little easier throw right there and we'll be good.
How can going against Kenny Moore help a rookie like John?
Yeah, when you got an elite player like Kenny Moore, it obviously helps. When iron sharpens iron, right? When you got good on good, it's all going to make us better, right? So when the games come on Sunday, it's all going to help us, and Kenny's a tremendous player. Very fortunate to have him on the team.
Where is that balance between hitting the deep ball to Pierce but being more decisive without a pass rush?
Yeah, exactly. So the biggest thing is, right, if nothing's open, we don't want to just stand back there, right? So that's why we want to work the scramble, right? So it's not just like, oh, nothing's open, and because you see sometimes I've been around it where it's like, boom, nothing's open, and you just kind of jog up the line, boom. So they matched it up pretty good, and it was like, boom, let's scramble and create those plays because that's what it's going to be like in the game.
It looked like Anthony had an option play where he stuck it in Zach's chest, but probably regretted having. Did he talk to you about that?
Yeah, I mean, it was, I mean, you saw his body language, I'm sure. Those are going to happen. I mean, when you have, certain plays where the quarterback's got to make a decision, is he going to be right on every single play? No, if you're doing some of those things offensively, you got to make a decision, and you got to live with some of those.
Shane, will you go full pads tomorrow night? Or is
No, we're going to go Monday. We're going to go Monday.
It's been different coaching Anthony Richardson over, Justin Herbert, Phil Rivers, and Jalen.
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, obviously they're all different personalities, but it's been really good to see. I mean, they're all different players too. It's been exciting. Obviously, still, we had the spring, still learning them. It's still early, but really happy with where he's at. Just the energy he brings and the work ethic he's had so far has been great.
Coach, with this being your first training camp as a head coach, and you have multiple members of your staff in the first time in those positions, how do you think the transition has been for yourself and the staff as a whole?
I think it's good. I think, a lot of these guys, if you get your first opportunity, and I mean, like, for instance, like Brian Mason, this is his first opportunity in the NFL. Like, these guys are hungry, you know what I mean? They're going to bring it every single day, and I'm looking forward to working with these guys and going through the grind of the season.
How has JT been away from the cameras with you guys? You were talking about body language.
Yeah.
Is he fully engaged? You feel like he's
Yeah.
here and ready to roll?
Yeah, he's here. Like I said, I've had private conversations. I'll keep those private, but he's here every single day.
Cam Turner
Last
said
one
that
here.
Anthony Richardson always texts him a bunch of questions, asks him a bunch of questions. Is he the same way with you, like, in person, text messages, whatever?
Yeah, we had a lot of conversations over the summer, ongoing, just checking in with them, all those different things. But when you do that and you ask those type of questions, like that's like, hey, I want to get better. I want to be a great player, and if he continues to do that, see what happens.
I mean, just in meetings, giving little pointers here and there. His point of view on things he did, because like you said, he was all pro, should be gold jacket. So he's been there, done that. So anything he says, pretty much listen to. And then for me, basically, it's just adjusting from college to the league, little things like splits and snap counts and just different alignments on plays. I'd say that's the main thing right now. I'm getting used to college. We were more lenient. They didn't really care where we lined up per se. It was basically just go get open. So now I got to learn just different alignments, different positions and stuff like that.
Josh, you mentioned the knee that had been bothering. Did you have something done with it?
I mean, that's just disclosed between me and the team, but issues taken care of. Mm-hmm.
Josh, were you able to take part in the Miami 3-day trip, or was this your first field work?
Nah, I took part in that with the guys, so it helped us grow as a little group together. I did that as well, so I was out there.
How was your and Anthony's? I mean, you guys went kind of viral for the parking lot stuff. How was your guys' relationship grown since then?
Yeah, me and Anthony, we cool. I mean, he's my roommate right now for camp, so every night we talk a little bit about the practice and just things we're gonna do tomorrow. I like having him as a roommate because I can just tell him I'll be open whenever and throw me the ball. So, but yeah, Anthony's a good dude. He's surprising me a little bit as well. He's got some crazy ability. I saw that throw he made today to Alec, and just a few other throws he made. He flicks his wrist and the ball goes 60 yards. So I'm glad he's out there. I'm glad Garner's out there. We got two good quarterbacks.
Josh, how would you describe Shane's coaching style and how he's putting his fingerprints on this team?
Yeah, I mean he's hard on us, but he also loves on us too. So. He takes care of us as well. We've had 2 practices in about 4 days. We have a lot of walkthroughs, though, so we got to perfect that. But he wants us to be good, hard on me a little bit as well. So I like Coach Steichen, though. I'm glad I'm here.
I know he's been doing just an hour practice this week, kind of get you guys into it after just working out without doing football activities. How has that been different for you?
I'd say, yeah, college, Coach Brown, he did kind of something similar. It was more hour 30, hour 45, but we're way more fast-paced here. So even though it's an hour, it doesn't really feel like an hour. It feels like you've been out here 3 hours when you're running around full speed. And everybody out here is competing for a job. So it's a lot of money on the line, a lot of jobs on the line. So dudes out here giving it their all. So it doesn't feel like an hour. It feels more like 2-3.
Josh, how does practicing against Kenny Moore kind of up your game here?
Yeah, I mean, Kenny Moore, probably one of the best. He is one of the best slot corners in the league. He's physical. I know I got to come with my A game every day. He disguises his coverage as well. He's about a 7-year vet, so he knows what he's doing. So having him out here, it should make the game a lot easier. Him and Tony Brown, usually the guys in the slot. Tony's physical as well. So having those guys, it's a little different from college. They're athletic. They're short, stocky kind of guys. So they kind of same build as me. So it's tough out there, and it's good work.
What have you learned from Pitt so far, obviously being the top dog of the offseason?
Yeah, Pitt, he's a guy. I mean, he's kind of taking me under his wing. I talk to Pitt a lot. Just little things like if I don't know what something on the schedule is or what I need to do here and there, Pitt will help me out. And then on the field as well, he knows a lot of plays. So when I'm on the field with Pitt, even if I know the play, he's going to run by me. You line up on the right, you got a crossing route, you got this. So he's going to give me stuff like that just to help me out because he knows I'm a rookie. So, yeah, Pitt's very helpful to me. Isaiah McKenzie is as well. He helps me a lot. So I appreciate those guys.
What sort of advice did you get from your dad and your uncle just about approaching an NFL training camp and making the most of it?
Really, my dad just told me take every day one day at a time. You can't really count the last day going into the next one because if you get up on your past successes, you kind of fall back, or like if you dwell on the past, your mistakes, then you might mess up the next day. So my dad's just telling me take every day one day at a time. My uncle pretty much says the same thing. And just go out there every day and compete. That's the main thing. I love competing, so I feel like it's right up my alley.
Last one here.
Say that again, my fault. Yeah, I feel as if the transition from college to here, it's not as bad. It's much faster, of course. So I just got to play faster. But I wouldn't say it's too overwhelming for me. The coverages are different. They disguise it a lot more. They run a lot different more variations. So I got to really learn more of that. But otherwise, I mean, I'd say my dad, he's prepared me a lot for this. And then I played football since I was 6 years old. So I have a pretty good feel for the game. So now I'm just adjusting to this new level.
I mean, I think it was just a reset after last year of coming back together and saying, look, as crazy as last year was, all the things that were transpiring, we knew that, we're still the same players, right? We still have the same guys in this room. We can go do what we wanted to do. The first half of Minnesota, we did what we wanted to do. These games, and we look back at the film, and I thought Tony did a great job of highlighting a lot of the plays that we had last year. He's like, it's not all bad. He was like, we have some miscommunication breakdown, stuff like that happens, and it gets, blown out of proportion. But it's like, you turn on the other plays that nobody talks about where we're dominating. It's like, this is what you have to go do. And I think that he's been a great factor in that room just to bring us all back and, give us that bond, that band of brother mentality of going back out there and just doing it for each other, and it's been awesome.
I realize everybody takes care of their own business. Does it impede the progress of the offense when JT's not out there?
I mean, you definitely feel it. I mean, he's obviously our guy, a great running back, and has been that way for the last couple of years. So it is weird. I think it's kind of the same thing as you missing any guy, right? It's always they always say it's a plug-and-play business, but, when you're missing a star player like that, it is tough. But I hope the guys that have been out there so far have done a great job. I think Zach Moss is doing an incredible job. We've got some young guys in there who are really getting their chance to shine. So obviously hope he gets back out there soon.
From an on-field perspective, how does a stud running back help in offense? I know the talk is you can kind of replace him, but anyone would say JT's probably top 5 in the league.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just running the ball; it's communication. It's getting in there in protection meetings and learning it. I mean, so much of what running backs do is protection. They don't see that. It's not the sexiest stat in the world, but certainly having those both abilities to do that is such a big crucial role, and that's why he's great.
Ryan, what have you seen from the young guys in Fries and Raimann so far?
They've been great. I mean, just everybody in the room, right? It's a place that guys want to come to right now. It's a place that that we love, right? It's that sacred room that we didn't have the last couple of years, and I thought it's just been amazing to be back and with the guys. And obviously, training camp's so special because you're really growing the entire offensive line together, right? It's the young guys we're bringing along. It's the guys that have been there for a long time, like me, Q, and Braden, and just building it now, and that's what's awesome about it.
What kind of adjustments have you had to make with the entirely new offensive staff and new offensive line coach even on your offense?
I mean, it's just kind of the game. It's part of the NFL. I mean, luckily Shane's coming from the Eagles where it's not too different, but I think Tony's done a great job of listening to players too. I think that's a hugely missed point in the NFL as far as coaches goes. I mean, you got to let players play, and they learn through experiences. He doesn't have all the answers. We don't have all the answers, so it's always a collective peer-to-peer collaboration. And at the end of the day, he's the coach. We listen to him, but I thought he's done a great job of listening to us and seeing, input on our part and just collective talking. That's how you get better. That's how we grow. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I mean, it's. I always think about what it'd be like to have both those guys in the room. I mean, I think at one point those two and Frank were all together. So it's cool, and I mean, we just love Shane so much. He's awesome.
If there's one word to describe this year's line, what is it?
I mean, I would say I'd say Beast comes to mind. You know, after last year, I think that, you know, we all kind of took a couple steps back from the game. You know, we didn't really talk to each other for, you know, a week or two. And I think that we needed that to really, you know, think about last year and the last couple years and how they've gone. And when we came back in the beginning of April, mid-April, the energy in the place had changed. I could tell as soon as we walked in, like, guys were happy to be back. Guys were ready to go back to work. And, I mean, it's probably hard for you guys to see it or write a paper about it, but being in that room every day in the last 4 months, seeing the room develop and getting back to where it was before, it's been really special. So that's the word.
Is there a strong camaraderie outside of the practice field? Is there a strong camaraderie outside of the practice field? Do you guys get together and stuff?
Oh, yeah, it's got to be. I mean, it's always been that way. And obviously COVID was a little weird for a couple years, but, you know, guys hanging out, guys going to dinner, guys bullshitting together, like those are, you know, that's just the best part of being an offensive lineman in the NFL, man. It's like, you know, we've got guys from all walks of life, you know, coast to coast, north and south, and, you know, to come together, you know, knowing that, like, not everybody's going to be here in, you know, a month from now, but, like, this time is so special, and we got two great coaches in there who are pushing us, who are, you know, instilling all that faith in us and really gaining all that confidence back for every player. I think it's amazing.
This offseason kind of was the first one where your name came up in a little bit in trade rumors. How do you been kind of attacking that and that different aspect of the offseason?
I don't care. I don't look at it.
Ryan, sorry, just been asked, how have you seen Shane put his fingerprints on this team?
It's been amazing. I mean, I think two things come to mind. It's just the execution, and then also just competing and having fun. I mean, a guy like that, you know, he understands what it takes to get to that level. Like, look at their, you know, the season last year that they had, and the first year they got to Philly when they started out a little slow and everybody was doubting them, right? The comeback from that. But also, it's a game of, like, having fun. Like, you can go to work every day and be miserable. Things aren't going great, this and that, and that's an awful place to be around. But he mixes in the competitive fun, the greatness, the excellence he's going to hold every guy to, and also, like, you know, calling out everything that's small, right? If you're missing something here, if it's a walkthrough and there's a bad snap or we're not in the right formation, like, that's going to get called out, and that's how you hold guys accountable. That's how you get better as a team.
The bar is to be the best possible offensive line, and, you know, that's just a high standard to uphold, and that's something to work on every single day. You know, you work on it individually, but then also as a group, you work on the communication, on the chemistry within the group, and that's something we just keep working on.
The pace out here feels very quick. It looks like a lot happening very quickly. Kind of tell me about the efficiency of these practices and how quickly everything's going.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's just one period after the other. I mean, even if you mess up, you know, 2 seconds later you're going to run the next play and you got to make up for it. And then there's not too much time to think about it. You know, you go out there, you know your plays, you run them, and then afterwards in meetings you go over your mistakes and you learn from them. But out here it's just, you know, one play after the other.
Bernhard, year two for you. How would you say from this point last year to now, in what ways do you feel like you have improved and grown as a player?
To be honest, really in every way of the game. I mean, I feel better physically, mentally, really settle in Indy. My wife and I love it here, and then as a player too, you know, get a new coaching staff, a couple different, you know, philosophy changes, but I mean, at the end of the day, football is football, and so you work on your basics, and all off season, you know, you work on your footwork, you work on hand placement, and I think I've improved in all of those aspects. So I'm just excited for you too.
Any kind of differences between the coaching from the coaching you got last year to this year on coaching wise? Like,
I mean, every coach is a little bit different. Obviously, we had a great coaching staff last year. I have a great coaching staff this year. A little bit different, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's just about making the best football player out of yourself. So it's hard to tell. Like,